It was a chilly autumn morning when the faint cry of a newborn kitten echoed through the yard. The sound was barely audible, weak, trembling, and full of confusion. The tiny creature, eyes still sealed shut, stumbled blindly through the fallen leaves, searching for warmth and safety. But fate led him in the wrong direction. Not far from the shed, behind a rusted fence, lived Bruno, a large, scar-faced shepherd dog. Everyone in the neighborhood feared him. He had been chained there for years, guarding the yard of a mechanic who rarely showed him kindness. Children crossed the street rather than pass by his territory. People whispered stories about how vicious he was. And now, the helpless kitten was crawling straight toward him. The cries grew louder as the kitten reached the edge of the fence. Bruno's ears twitched. He raised his head, his dark eyes narrowing as he caught sight of the small bundle of fur bumping against the ground. A low growl rumbled from his chest, not of anger, but of confusion. The kitten, too young to understand danger, kept moving toward the sound, mewing pitifully. Bruno stood up, his chain rattling. For a moment, it seemed like the inevitable would happen, that nature would take its cruel course. But then, something unexpected stirred in the old dog's heart. He sniffed the air again, and the scent brought back a memory, faint but familiar. Years ago, before the chain, before the loneliness, there had been a time when Bruno lived in a warm home with his owner and her cats. One of them had kittens just like this one, tiny, blind, and fragile. He remembered lying beside them to keep them warm. And in that instant, the growl faded. Bruno carefully lay down and extended his paw. With surprising gentleness, he nudged the kitten closer to his chest. The little one mewed again, this time softer, as he nestled into the dog's thick fur. Hours passed. When I came by to bring Bruno food and water, I froze in disbelief. There, under the big dog's chin, was the kitten, sleeping peacefully, his tiny paws clutching Bruno's fur. I crouched beside them, tears welling in my eyes. The dog looked at me, his expression calm, almost pleading, as if to say, "Help me take care of him." From that day on, I made sure they were never apart. I built a small shelter beside Bruno's kennel, where both could stay warm. I fed the kitten milk with a dropper until he could eat on his own. Every time I came near, Bruno would wag his tail protectively, his eyes soft with pride. Weeks later, the kitten opened his eyes for the first time. The first thing he saw wasn't fear or darkness, it was Bruno's muzzle, the gentle giant who had become his guardian.